What's going on, YouTube? This your boy Truth, and that's Truth Over Narrative. Today, we got a special guest, man. We got PBC's own rising prospect / contender. We got Jose El Rayo Valenzuela, man. Appreciate having you on, champ.
Thank you, bro. I'm happy to be here, and I want to thank you for the invitation.
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, so I just want to kind of start it off. I mean, just getting to know a little bit about you. So, can you tell me about your background and what part of Mexico, like you and your family, from?
I grew up. I was born in Los Mochis, Sinaloa. Um, my mom's from Mochi, Sinaloa. My dad's from Sonora, Obregon. Uh, uh, Born there, then moved to Nogales with my dad for a bit and his family, and then from there made our way up to the States, to Phoenix first, and then came out here with some family that were in Seattle, and then about the age of like 10, 11, started boxing.
All right, cool. So I had read somewhere that like when you was small, you got like hit by a car or something like that, man. Do you remember that, or can you talk to me about that?
Yeah, I was actually ran over by a car. I was in Mexico. I was about 3 years old, and uh, playing soccer with my sister. My mom had to run inside for something real quick. My sister kicked the ball under the car, and my crazy ass went across the street, go reach for the ball, and this guy comes out downstairs. He was on drugs. He was under the influence, and
Mm.
he got in his car. Peeled out, and took me under with him, and so that all the neighbors, like, they could hear me screaming and crying, and they stopped the guy, and all the neighbors came out. They couldn't get me out, so they had to lift all the car up under, and that's when I was there. That's when, and then as soon as they lifted the car up, my mom comes out. You know, she's in shock. She sees her baby, basically crushed and nearly dead. So God bless, I'm still alive. And I made it out that tragic accident.
Damn. So I mean, I know you was kind of younger, but like, do you remember anything about that recovery process? Like, how was that?
Nah, I don't remember much. I remember playing with my sister, and then after that, I don't really remember. My mom said I was like a newborn again. I had to learn how to walk, how to learn how to
Mm.
kind of talk again. I had to learn how to, like, just do everything all over again. I had to use diapers and stuff like that for it, till I got better. And
Okay.
I heard, that maybe if I made it out okay, I'd probably have a problem, maybe be like, somewhat of an injury still, and or my head, damaged. But thank God I made it out alive and well.
Yeah. Now you say you started boxing around the age of like 10 years old, right? So what was the defining factor in like you choosing boxing? Like, you mean, it's a bunch of sports. Like, why boxing?
I was just very energetic kid, man, and I had a lot of, just I was just a fighter. In school, my mom always had to deal with me fighting in school, and she just, when I was little, she said she used to tell me she could never put me down, because if there was a kid like my age or height, like, I would just like swing on them and stuff. So and I wasn't good at many things. Like, I wasn't good in school. I wasn't good at basketball. I wasn't good at soccer. But one thing I could find myself in and find love in was boxing. And so my dad, once told me that I could make a lot of money. I could take my mom out to struggle, and I couldn't believe it. I was a little kid. Like, you telling me to beat him up? You're gonna pay me a lot of
Yeah.
money? So I stuck with it, man.
Nah, that's dope. Hey, so about how many amateur fights do you have, and what do you remember as like your best win?
I had about 50 amateur fights. I lost like 5.
Okay.
Um, Again, I come from poverty, so my parents didn't have money. They didn't have the funds to take me out to tournaments. Sorry.
Yeah.
They didn't have the funds to take me out to tournaments, so I had to stay local up here in Seattle.
Oh no, nah, that's cool. And so, all right. Well, so speaking of that, you said you was in Seattle. How did you become part of Team Benavides?
I was in Oregon at the time,
Okay.
and I didn't have a coach really. I had got into it with my trainer, and then we have a mutual friend, Isaac Tadeo, who used to train with senior like 10 years
Okay.
before me, and so he still had his number, I think, somehow. And he reached out to him. He would just always bug him about me, because he heard that they were in Oregon, and I was only like 3 hours away from me.
Yeah.
So finally, senior, he was a little like annoyed by it, and he was like, you know what? Let me see, bring him through. I want to see what this kid has. Sure enough, we went down there. I stayed in a hotel across the street from them for about a week. Uh, this is a funny story, and he was like, you got raw talent, but
Right. Yeah, yeah. You had your hand over the camera a little bit. Yeah, you good now. You good now.
now the problem was where was I gonna live, and where was I gonna live, and so we were already all bummed out on our way back home. And my mom, we stopped at the grocery store nearby their house, and my mom asked some lady like if by any chance she knew someone who was renting a room, and the lady did. So I was living in some random lady's house, and for about 3 weeks till David and Junior. I clicked real well with David. He always treated me like a little brother, and he
Yeah.
took me in. They basically adopted me. I lived with them for a few years, and the rest was history. That's where it all started.
That's dope. So obviously, so now as we moving forward, you working with Team Benavidez. Obviously, you with David and Jose Jr. So those, I'm pretty sure, like as you started to grow older and started to learn your style, it probably came from a lot from them because you was in the gym with them. But was there any other fighters that you kind of tried to mirror your style after coming up?
Definitely, uh, they definitely had a big influence in my style. But me being lefty, I always watched a lot of lefties, Manny Pacquiao, Pernell Whitaker, Chavez. Even though he was a lefty, he was a hell of a fighter. Salvador Sanchez, and then coming up like Earl Spence, Lara, uh,
Okay.
a lot of lefties.
Nah, yeah. So all right. So now you coming up and you shit in your own right. You are upcoming contender prospect star in your own right. So who is maybe like some of your I want to say who your top 3 to 5 boxes that you see pound for pound right now?
I don't know about pound for pound, but my three favorite fighters right now that I like to watch is Inoue,
Okay.
the monster Inoue, Ennis Boots,
Yeah.
and my third one I would say probably David Benavidez.
Yeah. Nah, for sure. For sure. And so what about now? I heard you say my one of my favorite boxers, which is Salvador Sanchez. But what about maybe like 3 fighters from the past that you kind of that you would sit down and watch that you like?
Probably it would be Manny Pacquiao, Julio Cesar Chavez, and Edwin Valero.
Yeah, Aaron Valero was a killer, man. Yeah, that's a good selection. Yeah, he was definitely a killer. All right, so another question I want to ask you, as far as the gym is concerned, because obviously we know that's where you grab and put your work at, especially Team Benavidez. We know y'all known to put that work in. So tell me a drill that you like doing it in the gym, and a drill that you like. I really ain't a fan of doing this drill.
Um, a drill. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because I love it all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything. I know there's a purpose behind it. So if I can sharpen it up, but maybe like I guess when I was a kid, I hated hitting the heavy bag.
Okay.
I would say hate. I would say it was my least favorite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I used to just love sparring and love doing mitts and stuff like that.
All right, so obviously we know y'all do spend a lot of time in the gym. So what's some of the music that you like to listen to when when it's go time in the gym, or you about to spar, or you just need that pick me up? What you listening to?
I like to, you gotta mix it up because we listen to so much music throughout the day. We run
Yeah.
in, we train 3 times a day, but probably I'll start with some trap music, maybe some drill, some corridos,
Mhm.
some reggaeton, and then just start switching, and mixing it up through there.
Yeah. So now, question. Obviously, before we on camera, I talked to you about when I met you, when I first physically met you. That was at the Barclays, at the tank fight. You was out and about. Now I'm 6'1", 230. Right now, standing next to you, I didn't feel like you was that small, man. Like, how long you think you're gonna be able to fit down at 135, man?
I'm gonna be here till I get my world title.
Okay.
I'm not going nowhere till I get my world title. I want to conquer multiple divisions. I'm chasing greatness, and this is if I gotta sacrifice myself, I will.
No, for sure. No, that's dope. So obviously we know you still up and coming, but talk to me about maybe like the toughest fight you had so far, like amateur or pro.
Um, uh, Probably my 10th fight in the pros was my toughest fight. Barrios, he was a tough Colombian fighter.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was probably a little distracted that fight, but I learned a lot from it. I'm glad it happened early, and moving forward, I think I've had my great fight, my best fights because of that fight.
yeah. Nah, for sure. And so I'm big on activity. So I look back, I want to say starting like February 2021, I think it was Clay Burns you fought, and up until the last fight on the Earl Spence undercard. I think you don't fought like 6 times, man. So what you think is like, do you think activity is important for you as far as being active? And does that ever like burn you out at all? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't think so, not for me, because this is what I love to do. So if I could fight every other month, I would love to, and I mean, I love it, so I don't think you could burn out.
Nah, for sure. Okay, so your next opponent, Jezreel Corrales. We know you're going to be on the Ruiz Ortiz undercard with that. He 26-4, ranked number 2 in the WBA. What we looking to get done for this fight? Because obviously this is going to put you high ranking in the WBA as far as the title shot is concerned. How you feel about this fight coming up?
I gotta look impressive. I gotta be sharp that fight, because he's very elusive, and he moves a lot on his back foot, kind of baits you in, and then he unloads. But I gotta be patient. I gotta be sharp and using my jab, and and just do what I do. Go in there, have fun, work the body, work upstairs, and then I think you know the he'll fall eventually.
Nah, for sure. And so, like I said, with him, he is number 2 at the WBA. So, I mean, you beat him, you may be there or close to being number 2. How far you think out, or how close do you think you are to being ready for a title shot?
I think maybe after I get through Corrales, I feel like I'm ready now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm ready now. If it was up to me, I would go ahead and fight somebody now for the title. But it doesn't work like that. I gotta be
Yeah,
patient,
yeah.
and gotta let my promotion company do what they gotta do. But maybe if I could guess, early next year,
Okay.
or not early next year, hopefully early next year, but next year for sure.
Yeah. All right. And so somebody that you kind of been being linked to, obviously, y'all both are Samson fighters, is Michelle Rivera. He's in those WBA rankings pretty high. Yourself, you in there. I know
I'm not a Samson fighter.
you don't fight. Oh, my bad. Okay, my bad.
No,
My
yeah,
bad.
I'm a Al Heyman fighter.
Okay, got you. My
Yeah,
bad.
I'm
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Al Heyman.
Okay, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, under the same, PBC, the same house. We under the same
Yeah,
roof.
yeah, yeah. But David's a Samson fighter, I believe.
Yeah,
So
David. Yeah.
yeah, excuse me, my bad. So, but how you think? So, how you think? And I did see y'all face off at the Barclays. So, how you think a fight like that would go?
Um. Yeah, he's in my division. I think he's a good fighter. I don't think nothing too special of him. I think he's pretty basic. He
Hmm.
got his jab. He got his two. He a little. I mean, he got some distance, some range. But I'm bigger than him, and I'm longer. Um. He's a good fighter, but he's not beating me.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And so another thing, man, after the Frank Martin fight, we seen Earl Spence tweet out something as far as like Chris Colbert, like, hey, reach out to my team. Then I seen you retweet it saying, hey, get in contact with my team. So
Yeah,
is it Frank Martin? That's a fight you want too?
that's crazy. Yeah, because I'm right here. I mean, I'm the fight. I'm the other dog in 135 here in the division. So why go to pick on the little guy? He
Yeah,
coming up from like 26 or something like that.
yeah.
And he looked weak his last fight. You know,
Okay.
we know
Yeah.
Martin is gonna beat him. So I think me, Michelle, and him got to fight already. And hopefully after this fight, maybe I can get in there with Martin. Frank
Okay.
Martin.
So you confident? You like your chances with that Martin fight?
Yeah, I
That's
think. Yeah, I want that fight.
that's what's up,
And
man.
if I want to be great, these are the kind of things I gotta do.
Hey man, I'm loving that. That's definitely a fact. So if you had a choice, your next 3 fights, obviously we know you got business to handle September. We're not looking past Jezreel Corrales because that's a big fight. But obviously with Jezreel Corrales, if you had a chance to pick your next 3 fights, where will we go after this one?
I would like to probably do Frank Martin, Pitbull, and then Tank.
Yeah, that's strong. I like that. I like that. So last couple questions for you, Rayo. What's something that a lot of people don't know about you, man?
I think I'm a real good boxer.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
I think people see me just bang and go to the body because I mean I like knockouts. But if I have to box, I will box. I got this. I got I got that in my back pocket. You know, I'm 5'11", and I'm rangy, and I'm a lefty, so I think I got pretty good boxing IQ.
No, for sure. And my last question to you, man, is what do you want the world to know about
Sorry,
Valenzuela?
repeat that again.
I said my last question for you, champ. What do you want the world to know about Rayo Valenzuela?
That I'm here to stay. I want to just be a good fighter. I want to be a great fighter and a household name.
Nah, man. Hey, thanks. Hey, I appreciate you, champ. That's my time today, man. I thank you for joining, man. It's A-Style Boxing Talk. Like, again, man, we were looking forward to you progressing in your career. I love the energy, champ. I appreciate you for coming through for me.
No, man. Thank you for reaching out, man, and getting me on your podcast. I appreciate that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Have a good one.
All right.